I would say that the largest topic in PSLE math is fractions, in my opinion of course. Within fractions, one of the most annoying subtopics or concepts is differentiating fractions with units, like half a kg, 1/4 km, 2/5 hours, etc. And fractions without units, so like just half, 1/4 and 2/5. So for regular fractions, and what I mean by regular fractions is fractions without units, you can think of them in terms of groups. A fraction is actually a neat way of capturing quite a lot of information. For example, when we look at 3/5, the denominator 5 tells us that there are 5 groups in total. The numerator 3 tells us that we are interested in 3 of those groups. But we can't find the exact quantity of anything unless we are able to find the size of one group. For example, if I ask you how many pencils you have, it doesn't make any sense if you tell me that you have 3/5 pencils. Because that's like saying you have 3 groups of pencils, but how big is each group? Similarly, if I ask you how far away you live from school, you can't tell me half. Half of what? You're essentially saying if there are 2 groups, then your house is 1 group away from school. But that doesn't make any sense. But once you've given me enough information to find the size of one group, then it starts to make sense. For example, the distance from school to the shopping mall is 10 km. The distance from school to your house is half of that. So that means 2 groups is 10 km, 1 group is 5 km. So you live 5 km from school. Or you have 3/5 of the pencils on the table, the rest belong to your sister who has 6 pencils. So that means out of the 5 groups on the table, you have 3 groups and your sister has 2. And those 2 groups contain 6 pencils altogether, which means there are 3 per group. Since you have 3 groups, you have 9 pencils. So to summarize, it doesn't make sense if you tell me the distance between your house and school is half. But what if you say the distance between your house and school is half km? That actually makes sense, because now you have given me enough information to find out the exact distance from your house to school. Half km means half of 1 km. So if 2 groups was 1 km, then 1 group is 500 meters. So your house is 500 meters from school. So again, saying that the distance between school and your house is half doesn't make sense. But saying that the distance between school and your house is half km makes complete sense. Half just tells me the groups, half km tells me the exact quantity. It all boils down to groups versus quantity. Sounds simple, but once you get to solving actual questions, your minds will go blank. Let's start with some simple ones. Tom has 6 kg of sugar. He uses 3/5 of it. How much sugar does he have left? The fraction here has no units, so it's describing groups, not quantity. There are 5 groups in total. He uses 3 groups, and he has 2 groups left. So 5 groups is 6 kg, 1 group is 6 divided by 5. 2 groups is 2 times 6 divided by 5. Or since we are trying to find 2/5 of 6 kg, we can just take 2/5 times 6 kg. Compare that to this question. Tom has 6 kg of sugar. He uses 3/5 kg of it. How much sugar does he have left? The fraction here has units, so it's describing a quantity, not groups. We are talking about 3/5 of 1 kg, so it's an exact weight. For a lot of you, you probably still don't know what to do with this information because your mind is too focused on the numbers. Oh, what do I do with 6 kg and 3/5 kg? Remember, the logic guides the math. Try to reason out the problem in English, and that will help you figure out what to do with the math. You know the total amount of sugar that Tom has. You know the exact amount that he uses. So how would you find the amount that he has left? If I know the total, and I know how much he uses, then just take the total minus what he used. A lot of you struggle with this, because this requires a certain degree of abstract thinking. It's the same reason why you might struggle with algebra. For example, Tom has A kg of sugar. He uses B kg of sugar. How much sugar does he have left? If you focus on A and B, it looks confusing, because there should be numbers there, not letters. But if you think about what A and B represents, then you are thinking about the problem abstractly. A represents the total weight. B represents what he used. To find what he has left, it doesn't matter what the total is or what he used. It's always going to be total minus used to get left. So the answer is A minus B. In the next video, I'll show you more examples of questions where you can practice this type of thinking. I'll also show you another popular method which might make it easier for you to see the solution to these types of questions. Understanding how to solve this question is not nearly enough. You need a lot of practice. It's just common sense. It might seem like a hard question now, but practice it enough times and you'll be able to solve it with your eyes closed. But where are you gonna get enough examples to practice? Spiderweb Math is a website that I've created for my students which regenerates the same questions over and over again and is automatically marked. This way, you can just focus on getting the repetitions in. If you found this video useful, do consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video.